the situation is really complex and dynamically changing. I think as we speak now, many things already have changed, in the front line in the Kharkiv region. The two core things and challenges for Ukraine at the moment is, as you mentioned, the Russian army have advanced and have broken through the first line of defense. You know how they have several lines of defense. The first one actually they went through. And no one knows what the second line of defense is. Ukraine side keeps it secret, right? But they should be, Russian forces should meet the second line of defense very soon. So everyone is watching, when they will reach there. Another problem as well for Ukraine is, the lack of human resources, right? So yes, Ukraine received one 6 billion package, right, from US. It's in weapons, it's in, military assistance, but human resources is critical to, protecting Kharkiv and Sumsky region and in general to defend Ukraine. So that's two biggest challenges Ukraine is facing at the moment. The situation is really fierce. I have some friends in Kharkiv. I keep in touch with them. The young family, they chose not to leave Ukraine and even to relocate even to the West. So situation is really severe and there is evacuation even happening in those regions.
Okay, and Russian forces are reportedly surrounding the border town of Vovchansk. What would be the significance of that town being taken?
Yeah, so in general, the significance of Kharkiv and Kharkiv region for Russia is very important, right? We knew, not knew, but, there were some discussions happening in advance that Russia will advance and will start a new offensive in Kharkiv and to capture Kharkiv and, the cities around it as Vovchansk and so on. It's critical. So experts say it's critical for Russia because Russia wants to show a big win, and Kharkiv is that win that they would want to, get and show to the world. So that's why, all the cities are there quite critical. And again, as we're watching, Russian army should reach the second defense line, and we all are watching what will happen. How well Ukraine has, set it up to withstand Russian very fast military advancement, right? And as you mentioned as well, it's the fastest actually Russian military advancement since the start of the war. It's the greatest, but it's the fastest as well, which makes it very critical for Ukraine and hard to defend and to break through. Yeah,
is Russia making these advances, Olga, because it has more artillery, more weapons? What do you put this progress down to?
Yeah. So there is a lot of discussions, right? I follow various chats, to understand what's happening on the ground, right? But as I said, it's really hard to understand what actually is happening. One thing that contributed to Russia fast advancement is the not very strong or not very well established first line of defense in Ukraine. So Ukraine has spent like millions, right, on this defense line. And they've spent years, building it. I think they started building, the whole defense line around the Kharkiv region and like closer to the border of Russia since, I think, September 2022. So the Ukraine has been invested in creating this defense line. And I feel from what I'm hearing, again, I'm not a military expert, right? But I'm trying to follow what's happening. I can say that, this like weakness of this defense line, it contributes to it gives advantage to Russians to actually advance very fast, unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so you're Ukrainian-born, Olga. You have friends there, as you said. It's fair to say that the world's focus right now is on another conflict, the Israel-Gaza war. How are you and your friends and family feeling about the situation in Ukraine slipping out of the spotlight?
Look, Ukraine is not the only one in this situation, right? What world watches, the whole dynamics, of military operations globally in the first, year or so. It's very hard to keep, the momentum going and keep the awareness, and keep the urgency of the moment. But I think globally as well, diaspora and like our fantastic ambassadors globally, and here, Vasily Miroshnichenko, ambassador here in Australia, they're doing really well in keeping Ukraine, in media, raising money, keeping the awareness, publishing, continuing, creating urgency. Definitely, there's other crises and wars happening globally. And I mean, we can't all be connected to it personally, right? Because I have a personal connection to it because my family is in Ukraine and I have friends like on the front line who are still alive, thank goodness, and they're fighting, and I'm, on WhatsApp with them regularly. But it's really hard, and yeah, we do our best, to keep, Ukraine going and keeping in the front lines of the media.